Well, this is the front of our house on Brandon Lane above Grand Marais. That's our rain garden. That's our rain garden. It was designed to catch the sediment that comes off of the road and off of our driveway and filter out the sediment and let the water travel on down to the Fall River.
A rain garden is a garden that is collecting rainwater and it's treating it for nutrients so the nutrients aren't getting into nearby water bodies. And so it's collecting those nutrients and it's storing there and the plants are using them for food. And so that's really important to keep those nutrients out of the water because our water up here and our lakes are actually nutrient low. And so by increasing the nutrients unnaturally that are in there, then that can create issues within the lake or the stream. They also are helping to collect sediment. And so those are the main functions.
Any place we can catch the sediment and let it settle into the earth again, that's an improvement for the big lake. I asked the soil and water for plants native to northern Minnesota because I think for me that's going to be low care. They're going to thrive here, they're ready to go in this area. We were also interested in increasing the diversity for native pollinators.
And the native species can look beautiful, as you can see. It's important because you don't want to introduce exotic species into the area. With having exotic species that don't grow in the area, you can change the ecosystem because the native species have to fight a lot harder then to grow.
It's really starting to fill in. The plants that were planted are coming into their third season, and our soil and water district gave us a huge amount of help and made it just pain-free, and they tailored it to what we wanted. They did everything. We're really happy with ours. We love it.
For me personally, it is my artistic expression. Certainly one of my purposes for being on the planet is tending this beautiful corner that is public. We are on 2nd Avenue and 1st Street, kitty corner from the library and adjacent to Highway 61. And I'm looking at Lake Superior. The harbor is right there. Coming down the hill when there's a storm, all the oil and silt and sand and weed seeds off roofs come pouring down the street here.
It's important because we have pristine waters and we want to try to keep them clean. It's one different way that's natural to be able to treat stormwater. We feel it's important because, we want to keep our waters clean and keep them protected instead of having to come back later and restore them.
If I were to spend a couple of hours out here and it's a busy day, at least a dozen people. And it's fun, I chit-chat and they say it's beautiful. You have a beautiful garden, and I say thank you.
We are in downtown Grand Marais. This is kind of city center. Behind me here in this blue building is the library. There's 3 buildings here that have roofs kind of concentrating flow into the area between the 2 buildings, this alleyway. And so the rain garden is going to collect that water and infiltrate it and hold the water so it doesn't all discharge into the rivers and lakes all at once. So it's a way to infiltrate a lot of water over a delayed period of time and to also kind of purify the water, give it some time to soak into the plants uptake some of the pollutants and also break down some of those contaminants that may be in water or coming off the streets. There's a couple of different zones or a few different zones to a rain garden. This one's receiving water between the buildings, and so this pipe brings a concentrated flow to this particular portion of the rain garden. So the bottom of the rain garden is going to be the wettest and the edges are going to have a little more drier soil on average. So we plant it accordingly and use plants that can tolerate certain amounts of wetness. So we use all native plants that are neonicotinoid free, so got to be friendly to the bees that are struggling right now. We need to have the right soil mixture. So here we have a typical rain garden soil of a sand and a loam mixed together, and that creates a nice water holding capacity for the plants to hold and also an infiltration rate for the water to get back into the ground. We definitely want to make it as easy as possible for anyone who's interested in planting a rain garden. We'll provide technical assistance, and sometimes we may even have financial assistance, programs that you could have all of or part of your project funded.
It's rewarding because I guess I get to go back and see a year later or two years later what the projects look like and how much sediment they're actually gathering and the stuff that's not going into our waterways, and you know, I think that they do help. You know, we're right next to Lake Superior. I think it helps keep the lake clean.
I'm definitely excited to see this here. It's going to be great publicity, and it's going to be a great addition to the town to have this rain garden kind of front and center. A lot of people pass by, and it'll raise awareness for water quality and rain gardens.